Poland's chief rabbi, Michael Schudrich, often visits the site of the former Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp several times a month. It is not an easy thing to do.
I would actually think it gets harder to visit this place than easier. When it really became harder, so there were two things. One is once my daughter was born. So I think in a natural way, when you walk here, when you don't have children, you think, could have I survived? And once you have a child, you think, could your child have survived? And there it becomes a completely different experience.
Of the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust, over half were Polish.
Gas chamber 3, gas chamber 4, gas chamber 5, and this is the sauna.
In Poland, Schudrich is the most important religious advisor for the Auschwitz-Birkenau Foundation. It aims to preserve the memory and mourn the Holocaust victims 75 years after Auschwitz was liberated.
And it seems now 75 years later, while many people do know the lesson, there are those who never knew the lesson and who now want to speak in a loud voice about, denying the Holocaust, belittling the Holocaust.
New York-born Schudrich has dedicated his life to fighting hatred. He came to Warsaw 30 years ago. Since World War II, the few Holocaust survivors in communist Poland had largely abandoned their Jewish identity. But after the fall of the Iron Curtain, Poland's Jewish community began to blossom once more in the predominantly Catholic country. And Schudrich made the acquaintance of US-born RONALD, LAUDER, a patron of Jewish spiritual life across the world.
We needed somebody to go to Poland. I heard about this rabbi named Michael Schudrich. We installed him initially in a synagogue, 1990, 1991.
Morning service at Warsaw's Orthodox Noshik Synagogue. Several thousand people now belong to the country's Jewish community.
The fact that there's noise behind me because the people who are praying are now having a breakfast together is a sign that there is Jewish life.
And that's in large part thanks to his tireless efforts organized from here in his office at Warsaw's Great Synagogue.
You never find what you want when you need it.
When Schudrich started out, they did not even have enough prayer books for everyone.
This is the first time that a Jewish prayer book was reprinted in Poland after the fall of communism. This is the original page. It was from 1926. This is probably from 91, 92.
Today, Warsaw has a Jewish school that is attended by more than 200 pupils. Educating the young generation is very important to Schudrich. JOANNA NIEMIRSKA's son and 2 daughters also attend this school. The 40-year-old, like many other Polish Jews, was slow to embrace her religious identity. Today, she and her husband, Lukas Koz, are glad to see Jewish life thriving in Poland, something that their generation do not take for granted.
So big luggage of problems, of past, of everything, that it's never neutral.
And the minority here is a real minority. So it's real. Sometimes it feels like, we all weirdos in our own country.
Poland's Jewish community may be small, but it's highly diverse. There are 5 Jewish congregations in Warsaw alone, including the Orthodox one that meets at Noshik Synagogue. Poland's Catholic and Protestant communities show solidarity, as this interreligious service shows.
Change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but as long as you see you're going in the right direction, it gives you energy and it gives you hope.
75 years after the liberation of Auschwitz, hope for a growing Jewish religious way of life is once again growing in Poland.